And the powers that be that have set this stupid thing up, they didn't anticipate that a guy like you would be able to go on the Young Turks later this afternoon and say anything you want, man. And that Young Turks thing will be seen by a fucking million people easy. And that's hope, man. That's hope, because what we're talking about, where you listen to some of the things that I've said, those things that I've said, I've heard online. You know, I've read, I've watched documentaries, I'm expressing things that I've learned, and we all learn from each other. And the community that we create by finding like-minded people, or by saying things that resonate with people, or by influencing people in a positive way where it actually helps their mindset and helps their life, and they become thankful of that, and then they spread the same kind of message, and we help spread it to each other. And I have a guy like you on, and you change the way I think about certain things, and you influence. Like, I'm genuinely honored to have you on the show. I really admire what you've done and what you're saying. And I think other people will as well. And I think it spreads. It's like a good virus. Like, it gets out there. And this wasn't available before. Something like this wasn't available. And I think that's part of why we all got locked into this us versus them mentality. We didn't have a voice that distinguishes or differentiates from the fucking same bullshit corporate voice that we keep hearing over and over and over again that doesn't differentiate. You don't hear any we are all brothers and sisters on Fox News. You don't hear that. What do you hear? You hear crime statistics. You know, you hear Nancy Grace with 2 Chainz debating about marijuana. I mean, you really, that's what you hear. You hear bullshit, nonsense. You don't hear any soul. You know, no one's got a goddamn heart. No one recognizes the fact that this is a temporary existence. We're going through a temporary existence, and there are so many of us. And there's pockets that seem almost unmanageable because they've been fucked over for hundreds of years, and there's just a swarming chaos in these areas. And they're riding on momentum. And they're riding on the momentum of decades and decades of poverty and crime and a cycle of despair. And it's going to be hard to fix that shit. But it's critical, and it's one of the most important aspects of our civilization. If we don't fix that, our civilization is nonsense. Our civilization is only as strong as the weakest links. And it just makes sense to me, and I've always said this, the best way to strengthen America. People want to talk about a strong America. Are you a patriot? Do you love America? Good. Less losers. Make less losers. Then you have a stronger America. Go to the fucking neighborhoods that are fucked. Go to the communities that are fucked. Go to these deeply entrenched in crime areas and fix them. You fix them, then you got winners. You got, instead of 10,000 people in jail, you got 10,000 people that are starting small businesses. You got 10,000 people that are venturing out into the world and trying to do good and influencing other people to do the same and spreading a positive message and influencing people with inspiration. And then other people see, hey, this guy became this, I can do this too. And then they do it too. And then other people say that, and then you got a better country. It's not that hard. Instead of being a fucking vampire and arresting people for crack and pulling people over and doing the same goddamn shit that everybody's been doing for the last 100 years.
It's striking how much we do things similar. One of the things we found when we were messing around digging through files is we found an action plan. And these action plans, like, so a big crime happens and the shift commander will draw up an action plan, send it up, what he's going to do to address this problem. And this action plan was from the 1970s. We found it in like 2010.
Whoa.
And
found it?
We found it in a drawer. And it was the exact same action plan as the other shift commander was doing. It was like the same corners, the same response, the same plan. So like for 40 years, nobody's changed anything, and you have the same corners being the same problems with the same families and doing the same things, and the police are doing the exact same goddamn thing in response.
Wow.
It's unbelievable how we're doing this, and that's what these talks have to get us to do, is to do exactly what you're saying, communicate, lift up the country. It doesn't make any sense that we would treat a medical problem like it's a criminal problem and put those people into a jail cell, drug addicts into a jail cell. It doesn't make any sense.